Oh, my mission is to help kids know that they don't have to spend money in order to get to what they want to do.
To our scholars, parents, and our community partners, thank you for tuning in to the newest CrosbyCast, recorded at the Goodwill Career Center in Statesville, North Carolina. I'm your host, W.H. Hayes, and I'm joined today by Jenniffer Jamison, Junior Senior Program Manager at Crosby Scholars, Iredell. How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Great.
So for our listeners at home, briefly explain what the Junior Senior Program is and what your role in Crosby looks like.
So the Junior Senior Program is a continuation of the middle school and high school program, but we kind of take it up a notch because by junior year, students are starting to discover what they want to do next after high school, and they need some additional assistance and resources to get them where they need to go. So whether they're going for college or for life, we have some special programming that will help them get to their goals.
Awesome. And what was your career before Crosby look like? What did that kind of look like leading up to it?
Oh, a jack of all trades. I was the executive director of a nonprofit in Martinsville, Virginia, which helped people, families kind of get off their feet, food pantry, that kind of thing. I also had 15 years in third-party fulfillment as a manager / director. So very business world component. So I know what the real world is looking for in somebody that they're trying to hire. And then I was a recruiter for a little while, and that kind of gave me the skills to know, okay, when these students go out into the world and they need to find a job, I have been in the world trying to find talented students and adults to do a job. So it's nice to be able to work backwards and help these kids get to where they need to go.
So it's very easy to say that you kind of have like both sides of the equation when it comes to what a student needs to be prepared for.
Yes.
Gotcha. And you already kind of touched on it with the, how you mentioned how it's like cranked up a notch for the junior senior program. I know that I know a lot about it because I just watched my sister go through it. I quite literally work in the program. But for a 10th grader who's getting ready to head into junior year, what does that difference kind of look like? How does it feel?
So at its very minimum, it's a couple more requirements, right? It's an orientation to kind of get the students to understand what we have available, what resources we have available, and a couple of other things that we think are important. I will tell you, some students use the minimum of the resources, which is completing their community service, doing their academies, visiting some colleges, going to a college fair kind of thing, and meeting with their advisor. I will tell you that there are other students that get to the junior senior program and they're like, you can help me with that? and we do. The academies are like the meat and potatoes. So when we offer essay workshops and application workshops and resume workshops, we're really, in the junior senior program, really trying to make sure that any student, no matter what they want to do, has what they need.
And out of those resources that you mentioned, are there any that you wish students would be more aware of and take better advantage of?
Well, I think the one-on-one advising is something that people really don't understand. They have to meet with their advisor at least a minimum of 4 times. But if you actually respond to your advisor, it is one-on-one, tailored for the student based on their goals. So if I have a student that wants to go to an Ivy League, we're going to meet more than 4 times. If I have a student that is like, you know what, I want to go straight to work, well, we're going to meet the minimum of 4 times, but we're going to do different activities. We're going to do job searches. We might do an aptitude or career interest exploration. We might work on their resume, make sure that they've got their resume really tuned up and where they need to go. We might talk about job fairs as opposed to college fairs. So the advising piece, sometimes students run away from it or they ignore it. They're like, oh, that's just one more person that I need to talk to. But the students who actually engage, they're like, oh, that was actually helpful. And then they're like, can we meet again? And yes, our advisors are available, to meet as many times as you need to get things done.
I tend to tell my advisees that I'm an email away, if nothing else. I know that it can be hard kind of getting a hold of them sometimes, but once you really kind of let yourself work with the advisor, it can be a whole world difference. I mean, you were my advisor when I was a senior in high school, and I remember that you were just a massive help to the point where it's like we still used advice that you gave me for my sister before y'all had met with my sister.
Yeah. And I love, that's actually the part of this program that I really enjoy. Because talking to a student, sometimes at the beginning of the first advisor meeting, I don't like to start with, hey, what's your GPA, right? Because people are like, oh, really? I like to, what do you want to do? What do you like? And then sometimes opening up the conversation to what do you do outside of the classroom, like a review of extracurricular activities, because that's where you can really see what students are. Oh, I love writing. And I'm like, oh, okay, what kind of writing? Oh, I write comic books. And I'm like, oh, that's an interesting thing to know. And, I think helping students to understand that they have so much to offer. So many times students are like, with social media and the pressure, they're like, oh, I don't have anything special. I'm not special. And when you start to talk to them, you're like, that is so cool. Like, I wish I could have done that when I was a kid. Or, wow, that is unique and different, and it's going to set you apart. And then I like to help those students to understand how that extracurricular or that hobby or that interest ties into a job. Right? I had a student that was interested in like a Sim City type of game where you're creating worlds and cities and civilizations, right? And I'm like, have you ever thought about urban planning, right? That's a job, right? There's, you can go to school and understand the engineering and architecture, and urban planning is a career, right? So.
And I think that is a double-edged sword with today's world, in which everyone's so exposed to everything that they now realize just how much there is to do. But on the same end, it's like, how are they going to figure it out? Because it's just so much information overload. In general, what kind of advice how do you try and help kids who are not really sure what they want to do? How do you help them hone in on that thing that they know they're going to do?
Well, first off, I want every student to know that you're 17, 18 years old. You have no idea what you're going to do the rest of your life. So the decisions you're making now is just a next step, right? The other thing I like to do is I like for students to go to a job search website. A lot of students think college is the prize. College is not the prize. The job is the prize. The career is the prize. The being able to support yourself and be a sustaining member of society, that is the prize, right? So sometimes I will say, you know what? Let's stop talking about college. Let's go out and find your dream job. You want to work for X company. Let's go to that company's website. Let's look on their careers. Let's go find the job that you think you want to do, right? And then look at the description of the job and the requirements to get the job. And then our goal is to help them get the education they need to get the job they want. Like, work backwards. Like that is sometimes that is a great way for students to see, oh, it's right there in black and white. This is kind of like my path. I also tell students, if you're going towards that path and all of a sudden you take accounting and you're like, oh, this is not what I thought it was, then you know what? You pivot, right? You don't worry about it. You're not stuck. You learned some skills and you know that you don't want to go in that direction anymore, and you turn the boat and you go a little bit in the next direction, and you have the building block of that, and now go forward, right? Maybe business administration, maybe not finance or accounting. Maybe you want to do marketing or something like that.
And of course, we offer ways to kind of, test out a bunch of different things, see if there's different things you like. We have this program called Try It Tuesdays that we're trying to build toward this summer. Would you want to talk more about that?
Yeah, I'd love to talk about Try It Tuesdays. So career exploration is so vital, and our students just don't get the opportunity in the real world to just plop themselves in the middle of a business and see what's going on. So we have at Crosby Scholars partnered with Mitchell Community College and other businesses in the area. And every Tuesday, there's like 6 Tuesdays in the summer where students can sign up on their Crosby Connect account and they can explore a different career. Over the years, we have done engineering, we have done healthcare. This year, we are partnering with the Small Business Center at Mitchell Community College, and they're going to come talk about how to open your own business and be an entrepreneur. We have a graphic design and IT like programming session. We are heading to Detroit Speed to tour their plant and see what careers are available there. And we've got healthcare with Iredell Health System. So we've got some really great partners who are letting our students come into their facilities and kind of get a view of not only the job they think, right? You think of a hospital and you think of a doctor or a nurse. There are so many other people that are working to make that happen, whether it be insurance, accounting, billing, security, culinary. People got to eat in the hospital. Like there's so many jobs. And so it's nice for our students during the Try It Tuesday to get exposure to that.
Yeah. And I know you've already kind of touched on this, but if you had to put it into a few words, what is your reason for Crosby?
Oh, my mission is to help kids know that they don't have to spend money in order to get to what they want to do. There's a lot, college is a big business. You look at the testing and the cost of testing. You look at people who are then looking at testing and saying, oh, I want a tutor. Then you got to spend money on applications. Then you got to spend money on whatever. Crosby Scholars as a nonprofit is offering free resources that can help these students achieve their goals. And it is my mission to help them to figure out that there is a way to go. This is for the student whose parents have all the money in the world and want to get where they're going, but it's especially for those students who they think, oh, I can't go to college because I can't afford it. We know of organizations and resources where if you are a high achieving student and you have no money, you can apply for a matching program and get a full ride to a highly selective college. So I love for kids to figure out what they don't know yet and help point them to resources that can help cover the cost of college, that can help get them to their educational goals, right? I don't want any student to feel limited based on what they think is out there. Like, come work with Crosby Scholars, let's explore the options and get you where you need to go. I am asked all the time by Crosby Scholars, what's the minimum I have to do? The very minimum you have to do from 6th to 10th grade in order to be a Crosby Scholars is to sign up, complete 2 hours of community service, and attend one of our academies. Can you get through 6th to 10th grade doing just the minimum? Yes, you can. But I encourage you to give us 15 minutes of your time and explore something else that's not the minimum. Because you're going to find that the meat of the program are the academies. You can come to more than one academy. You can pick and choose which academy you want to come to based on what you want to learn and what your life goals are. I have more than one student, many students who come back to me and say, I wish I had known that you offered this service. Whether it be essay review, one-on-one advising of Crosby Scholars during their junior and senior year, scholarships, last dollar grants, college tours, so many of these things. When you're focused on the minimums, you miss out on the opportunities. So give us 15 minutes. Go to our website, www.crosbyscholarsIredell.org. Explore each grade's page. Explore the financial aid page. explore all the hidden gems that we have to offer. Crosby Scholars, Iredell County is a free program for 6th through 12th graders that attend any public school. Give us a try, and you're going to find a goldmine of resources available to you for free.
And for my last question, this is something I've been asking all of my guests. What is something that you want to celebrate or be thankful for right now?
I am so thankful for our team here at Crosby Scholars. Back in 2018 when I started, we were small and scrappy. I think at one point we got down to 3 team members, and now the junior senior team alone has, we have 5 team members now, 2 advisors, a near peer advisor, an advising and outreach specialist, and myself. And I am just excited that we have, such talented people who have a heart for our students. And, we all have the same drive. Like, we get so excited when we meet with a student and they're like this time of year, we're celebrating, I just got a full ride scholarship. Or I got accepted to the school that I really wanted to go to and I didn't think I was going to get in, right? Those celebrations are just so much fun to have. And then the last thing that I just wanted to tell you guys about was Workshop Wednesdays. So our juniors and our 10th graders, so rising juniors and rising seniors this summer, every Wednesday we're going to offer something that will help you get to the next thing. So we're going to have 2 essay boot camps. We're going to have a college application boot camp. We're going to have a For Life day where students going to college or going to work can work on their resume and specific skills for how to find the job, how to create a resume. And then we're also going to do free test prep. So, I don't know, check it out. We've got lots to offer.
Junior Senior Program Manager Jenniffer Jamison, thank you very much.
Thank you, WH.